That's right. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I know. I just didn't. Don't rush. Just wanted to. Whenever you're ready. Uh-oh. I'll do my timer on here then when we're we have comment. Okay. All right, you ready? All right. Good evening. We'll call this meeting to order. If you'd please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. And Danny, would you please call roll?
Deputy Mayor Wales.
Here.
Councilmember Baggett.
Here.
Councilmember DeCoursey. Here. Councilmember Holman.
Here.
Councilmember Pelosa. Councilmember Trout-Manuel. Manuel?
Here.
Okay. And Councilmember Wagner.
Here.
Thank you. Do we have any, I don't think we have any announcements, proclamations, or presentations this evening. No appointments. Do we have any agenda modifications, Danny?
Yes, there's a revised agenda bill for project CP 1513 that was distributed earlier today.
Thank you. Everyone has a copy of that? Okay. All right. We have no public hearings this evening, so we will move on to audience participation. This is the place on the agenda where the public is invited to speak to the City Council on any issue. Those wishing to speak are reminded to sign in on the form provided, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Guadalupe Macias Rivera. I live at 123 C Street Northwest, Auburn, Washington 98001. This evening, I would like to come forth, and it's not something that I would want to come forth about or would want to have to come forth about, but the last meeting that public comment was allowed at, I saw something that really struck me, that kind of set off something within me about professionalism. And no matter what or who is speaking, I think when it's public comment, these are people that live within Auburn or are concerned about Auburn. And professionalism should be really held no matter who it is, whether it's a competition for a political race, whether it's someone we don't like. I think that it's something that should always be kept in the back of one's mind. The last meeting, a comment was made by Mayor Nancy Backus at the end of a speaker's presentation. And I understand the speaker had gone over their time allotted to speak, but a comment was made to a council member about, oh, I'm sorry, did I wake you? And that to me seemed very disrespectful to the speaker. Because at the end of the day, whether the speaker is a competitor in the same political race, this person is also a resident of Auburn. and they should be held with the same respect as any other speaker up here should be held. And I think that it should always be kept in the back of everyone's mind, not just Mayor Nancy Backus, but just to remember that who we speak to, we never know what can come back to us. Other people that are watching, because these are recorded meetings. And in this race, there's a lot of endorsements, and it kind of makes me think that if that kind of behavior is allowed, then maybe should political office be held by that type of behavior. I hope that's not the behavior that is held across the board with everyone else, but just kind of keep in mind that these things really put off people from coming forth and speaking. And I would like to see a change in that. Just be respectful and mindful that these people are also residents. These people are here because they care about Auburn and want to see a difference, want to see a change, want to see everyone represented. And with that also said, I'd like to see a little bit more diversity in board member positions for different departments, because I tend to see that there's a lack of diversity. And when we have those signs, for example, coming from Enumclaw into Auburn, so that we have an all-inclusive community, I don't really see that when it comes to board member positions or council. So if we can have a little bit more diversity, that would be great as well. So just keep in mind the respect and diversity for Auburn, because that's the kind of future that I would want for my son to grow up here. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And just as a comment, the comment that I made at that point in time is because I used the gavel and it alarmed Deputy Mayor Wales, and we were joking about that. She made a comment and I said, sorry if I woke you. That was a joke along with a comment that she had made.
I understand, but I think there's a time and place for everything. If there's a joke to be made, that should be possibly a joke to be made outside and not on public TV.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, and limit comments to 3 minutes.
Greetings, my name's Roland Kidd, 210 13th Street, Southeast Auburn. I have a problem with signage left on streets, like all these election signs. They're still out there. They should be removed immediately after the election. 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, who knows. Plus signs on poles that people are advertising. Now, PSC is an entity that's private. I don't know what the city has to do to go out there and get these signs off these poles, but I called in, it's been several months ago, about one over on 3rd and Auburn Avenue. Within a day, it was gone. I called in on one at 6th Street Southeast and 8th Street Southeast. It took 3 weeks to get those down. I got a call from a person that said, yeah, we'd be right out, and 3 weeks later, I had to go down to City Hall and raise Cain. I apologize directly to that person for raising Cain to get these signs out of here. If I call in, it should be taken care of. I don't know what the RCWs are about this, but I think the signage for voters should be gone immediately after the election. They're still up and down 8th Street. So it should be up to the people who put it out there to get off their duff and get it out of there. So get the signs out of here, get them done. I mean, the city of Auburn has to keep clean, and we got a lot of trash. People throw it out their windows. So it's a big deal. So I would appreciate it next time I call in to at least get advised that we will have to fill out forms to take care of this problem rather than say, okay, we're going to be out and get it, and 3 weeks later it's still there. So that's my problem with signage. It's everywhere. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. And just as a note, general election, the signs, I believe the code says that after the general election, signs have to be picked up within 7 days. After the general.
So those signs will have to be out there till after the general
After
election?
the general election.
Really? So we got to put up for months now?
I agree with you. They're litter.
That's not good. Take them down, put them back up before. People get tired of looking at that stuff. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, and 3 minutes, please.
My name is Matthew Costello. I live at 3611 I Street Northeast. The north part of town, we're starting to have a lot of homeless problems in this school property that's over there and on the levee. And I went to 7-Eleven Friday night at about 11, and there was about 20 of them there. And I will not let my wife out there because it's starting to get dangerous. And I was wondering if there's something we can do to move them out of that area, someplace to put them.
So there will be a shelter opening up as soon as Puget Sound Energy, one of the companies that the gentleman just spoke about, is out to make the connection to the power at the Valley Cities location. So there will be overnight sheltering as well as a day center to provide wraparound services for individuals.
All right, I'm just starting to worry about that area over there.
Absolutely, as are we.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? And yeah, anytime, if there is, call 911 anytime that you have a concern. And Commander O'Neill, if you'd like to speak with Commander O'Neill about the best process, more than happy to do that while you're here this evening. Okay? Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Final time. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please.
Virginia Haugen, 2503 R Street Southeast, Auburn. First, I want to thank Jai Carter for taking the time to call me at 5 p.m. today to discuss the R Street Storm Sewer Project. If the City Council and Mayor were spending more time on city projects, Mr. Carter might have realized that general protocol is to notify all property owners affected by city construction project that my neighbors and I were notified on August 4th that a portion of our street southeast was to be ripped up beginning August 7th, that's today, tells me that we have a mayor and 7 council members that are complacent and ineffective. Several years ago, the city of Auburn, while expanding Fulmer Field Park to the north, encroached on property belonging to a friend of mine. Because I notified our legal department and risk management, that issue was taken care of. I was at a T-ball game in July. I saw a homeless woman being arrested. Because her things would be left at Fulmer Field Park, I simply picked them up, put them in my trunk. If they weren't heavy, I would have brought them down here and I would have set them right there so you could see how homeless people live. The new homeless shelter in Auburn will most likely not do her any good. I have a park around the corner down 25th from me. It's called, doesn't matter what it's called. It's a small park. They serve free lunches down there in the summertime. I was down there a couple of weeks ago, and I noticed fill, big piles of fill in the park to the south. When I asked what it was about, I found out that we're going to fill a portion of that park that homeless people have been living in for probably 2 years at least. A year and a half ago, I went down and cleaned up that portion of the park. I found out recently that the city of Auburn had a large tree cut down in that park, I guess to discourage homeless people from living there. It made a perfect homeless camp. If I were homeless, that is the park I would go to, Cedar Lane Park, 25th Street Southeast. Now I'm told that we're going to fill that area and we're going to put native plants in. Now, I would guess that maybe if we wait until fall to plant those native plants, we'll get enough rain to keep them going so they won't die. But I just wonder, how long do you think it will take homeless people to tramp all over those native plants and kill them? Thank you.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak? Final time. Is there anyone else that would like to speak? All right, we will move on to Council Ad Hoc Committee reports. Chairs from the Council Ad Hoc Committees may report on the status of their Ad Hoc Council Committee's progress on assigned tasks and may give their recommendation to the City Council, if any. We will begin with claims and payroll, vouchers, and finance. Councilmember Baggett.
Thank you, Your Honor. As members of the Council Ad Hoc Finance Committee, Councilmember Wagner and I reviewed the payroll vouchers and electronic deposits for approximately $2.4 million, and claims vouchers and wire transfers for approximately $3.6 million for the periods July 13th to August 2nd and August 3rd, respectively. And the committee recommends council approval of these expenses.
Thank you. And next is the annual selection of deputy mayor, Councilmember DeCoursey.
Thank you, Mayor. The ad hoc committee composed of Councilmember Pelosi, Troutman, and myself have concluded their work. And on tonight's agenda is resolution number 5308 for a presentation and potential approval by the council on the selection of the deputy mayor.
Thank you. And the $20 tab fee, full spectrum of issues regarding the $20 car tab fee, Deputy Mayor Wells.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your $20 tab ad hoc committee met this evening, gave some hopefully near final directions to Ingrid and to Shelley to come back with a plan that we will share at one of our future study sessions. It'll probably take about a month for them to pull the information together because they're dealing with the summer construction projects and quarterly reports at finance. So we've got a product that we want to share with you and make modifications or whatever's necessary to get it to move. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move on to the consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered by the City Council to be routine and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Do I have a motion? Deputy Mayor Wells.
I move for the approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Councilmember Troutman.
I second that, Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any questions or concerns?
Okay, Mayor Backus, we are approving the minutes of
Deputy Mayor Wells.
Thank you. We are asking for the approval of the minutes of July 24th, July 17th, June 13th, the minutes of our City Council study session for July 10th, June 12th, November 9th, October 12th, and September 28th. We are also asking for the approval of claims and payroll vouchers that Councilmember Bagnett spoke to earlier this evening, and also for the awarding of a contract to the lowest bidder for the project on 22nd Street Northeast and I Street Northeast intersection.
Thank you. Any questions? Councilmember Pelosi.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question regarding 7D as in dog. Those are minutes from study sessions back to September 28th, 2015.
That is correct.
And I would like to ask Danny, do we have any other past meeting minutes that have not been brought forward to the council?
Yes, we have several study session minutes that have not yet been forwarded to council. We are working on those. We have a plan. They include most of the 2016 study session minutes, and we're working from that point and from 2017 back to meet and ensure that those minutes are presented to council for approval.
I believe at the last council meeting, I had asked for an aging report of what were the meetings and what were the dates. And it would be nice to have that report forwarded to all council.
Yes, we have a table created, and I'll be glad to forward that to you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Passes. All right, no unfinished business, no new business. Resolutions, Mr. City Attorney.
Thank you, Your Honor. Resolution number 5304, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Auburn, Washington, authorizing the mayor to execute an interlocal agreement with Pierce County Flood Control Zone District for the Opportunity Fund Program.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Councilmember Holman?
Move for the adoption of
Your microphone.
Move for the adoption of Resolution 5304.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Councilmember Baggett?
Second that, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilmember Holman?
Simply a resolution to authorizing you to execute an interlocal agreement with Pierce County Flood Control Zone District.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution number 5304, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Passes.
Resolution number 5308, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Auburn, Washington, amending City Council Rules of Procedure as adopted by ordinance number 5802 and amended by resolution numbers 4282, 4429, 4467, 4615, 4686, 4740, 4813, 4909, 5105, 5112, 5115, 5217, 5240, and 5283.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Councilmember DeCoursey.
Mayor, I move for the adoption of resolution number 5308.
Thank you. Councilmember Holman.
Second.
Thank you. Councilmember DeCoursey.
Thank you, Mayor. After quite an extended period of time, we have finally reached this point where we have concluded our work and have the opportunity to vote on this resolution tonight. I do want to point out under Section 12, under the Deputy Mayor process, on page 97 of 154, there was one minor provision that was added to the procedures, and that is that we added, in the context of annually or more often as deemed appropriate by majority vote selecting one of their members as deputy mayor, we added a one-year time except as provided in section 12.1 paragraph G and H herein. So we put a time frame in there that wasn't there before, just to kind of clarify it. Other than that, everything we discussed at our study session is incorporated here, and I would hopefully that we can pass this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments? Councilmember Holman.
Yeah, just one comment. I went over that thing with a fine-tooth comb, and it's as advertised.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Pelosi.
I just wanted to thank Claude for his leadership on this, and also Yolanda Trout-Manuel's leadership on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of resolution number 5308, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Passes.
Resolution number 5309, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Auburn, Washington, authorizing the mayor to execute information technology contracts with Valley Regional Fire Authority and the cities of Algona and Pacific.
Thank you. Do I have a motion? Deputy Mayor Wells.
I move for the approval of Resolution 5309.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Councilmember Trout-Manuel.
I second that.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Wells.
Thank you. This allows us to enter into agreement for reimbursement to provide IT services to Valley Regional Fire Authority and Algona and Pacific, as we have done in the past.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Councilmember Wagner.
I was looking for some estimated time or some history on the amount of time that we spent, because we do hire full-time people and commit to them as employees for long term to do this semi-annual or occasional update of agreement with these folks. Not that I'm against the agreement, I just want to have good planning around our staff. Then the other thing is, I didn't notice anything in the scope of work with regard to training. And does that mean that we do not offer that? I guess that's a question for the director. Do we not offer any training as part of this agreement?
For the record, Paul Haugen, IT Director for the City of Auburn. On the training question, that is an option. If you'll notice, the contracts there allow for additional services beyond the basic IT services. We have made that available to them. Excuse me. Both cities, of course, are low-budget cities. Have a lot of money, but if they can take advantage, And that, again, will be a cost replacement. The question on how much services we provide, we track that, and we can actually provide that to you on a monthly basis.